This problem is a bit of a review. It says make a conjecture about R, or what R is for the following scatter plot. Make a conjecture about what the least squared regression line equation might be. So as I look at this thing, the thing I'm noticing is I don't really see any kind of indicated trend line, right? There's this the relationship of pairs of shoes that you own versus your shoe size. So it doesn't appear to be the case that as your shoe size is larger, you own more shoes. They're pretty. They look like they're clearly unrelated variables. Probably number of shoes owned, maybe as a function of age. I don't know. Maybe or a function of income, how much money you have. But I don't think these are related variables at all. So I would say the correlation coefficient is very near zero. In fact, just looking at that scatter plot, I don't see any trend line at all. There's no association between shoe size and the pairs of shoes owned. And I just want to come over here and review correlation coefficient, what that is, right? So remember, correlation coefficient, R, is a measure of how much or how little data is scattered around the least squared regression line. It is a measure of the strength of an association that has already been determined to be linear. The correlation coefficient takes on values from -1 to +1. The closer to 1 or -1 the correlation coefficient is, the less scattered the data is around the least squared regression line. So if I look at, for example, this one here, correlation coefficient is, near +1. Actually, not exactly, right? There's quite a bit of scatter here, but if I erase some of these points, I can get it to where it looks like it's closer and closer to being perfect correlation coefficient, right? And as the data points kind of move away from that perceived line there, it would it would be less closer to +1. It is a positive correlation coefficient because as the x values increase, the y values increase. This other graph, right, correlation coefficient is near -1. As x values increase, the y values are decreasing. And you can see that it's very, very close to, a straight line that fits the data. If I was to try and pick a line that would fit this data, I don't know. I don't know that I could pick line. It'd be interesting to plot all this data and see, but I know there's an equal number of data points above or below, but it looks like it's just pretty flat. I can't imagine it being a curve at all. Not a curve, but having a slope at all.